bathroom hiding so I don't wake my son up. And I have a cat visiting me in the tub. So I haven't been on here because I've been like laying low. And I decided I'm like done doing that. So I wanted to talk about healing because it's super important. And I've had a lot of conversations about healing lately, you know, that are just revolved around like how important it is to heal, you know. Why wouldn't you? Right? And it like sucks because it sucks to be alone and like face all the shit that you have to like deal with and conquer. But it's so important. I saw a quote a few weeks ago and it said, if you don't heal your cuts like from your trauma, then you'll bleed on people who didn't cut you. And that is so true. Like that resonates so much with me. I just like can't even think about, like I can think about like a relationship because that like sounds awesome. But then like when you actually think about it like to the core, that's a lot of shit that I'm not trying to deal with or want to like jump into. And mainly because like I have a lot of shit that I need to take care of, right? Like I don't understand. I was always that girl who like was the serial misogynist. Like I jumped from relationship to relationship, you know? And I see a lot of girls out there that do that and I don't understand how they don't see like it's an error. Like people do it, you know, like when you jump from relationship to relationship to relationship, like you're carrying baggage from all of those relationships, especially if you don't heal them. So you take those problems into your new relationships. And are those relationships going to be super healthy and work? Probably not, you know? So like, why would you just take yourself and throw yourself into a fire? I mean, I kind of feel like that's basically what people do, you know, when they don't like heal and they're not ready, they just like throw themselves into a fire and like it's just not healthy and it's not conducive, you know. It's so important to heal. My big thing is like I don't want to be someone's other half and I don't want someone to be my other half. Like I want to be completely full on my own and have somebody be completely full on like completed on their own. And then like two complete people coming together is like how it works, right? Because like if you got into business with somebody and your business partner was inadequate, that would put more stress and strain on you, right? It's just like not even worth it, you know? And like a friend of mine actually said it's like giving a broken toy to a child. And it's so true because like I'm so broken, but I know that. And that's like the awesome part about like accepting healing and choosing to heal and not jump into another relationship. I know that I'm not ready, you know, and it's so important to know that nobody is ready to jump into a relationship right after a relationship. Like you have to have that buffer time where you collect yourself and you heal, and healing is messy and there's no time limit, you know, it doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen in a week. It doesn't happen in a year. I mean, like it could. I mean, everybody's different, you know? At the same time, like you should work on being alone and loving yourself and like finding comfort in like just your completedness, right? Because like we're constantly on this search for like love and happiness outside of ourselves. But like you can find all those things inside of you. You know, like I promise, that's real shit. Like if you actually believe it and do the work, you can find it inside of you. And, you know, some people just don't want to do the work. Some people want to like stay stuck on that instant gratification. Well, instant gratification was like my life story for so long, especially when I was in active addiction. And like, did it ever get me anything? No, not really. Instant gratification, it makes you feel good and it only lasts about as long as it makes you feel good, which is pretty instant and pretty quick. And then it's over. And then you're out searching for that next thing to, you know, get off on. And you don't have to do that. Like, we don't have to do that. You know, like we should totally just work on being happy within ourselves. Especially with like being in touch with the universe. Like when you are happy with yourself and you're doing good and you love yourself, that is when the universe will give you what you're ready to receive. You know, and it's important. Like if you're not in a good way and somebody comes along and they're like the perfect person, you know, and you kind of like fall into that delusion of like, you know, the fairy tale stuff, shit that doesn't exist, you know. And you could fall into that much faster if you are not whole on your own. You know, last week, like I had this guy who was very like ready to go, like wife me up, like calling me baby and telling me his life like had meaning now and I was the only good thing in his life. And like, I don't want to know that. Don't make me responsible for that. I don't want to be the only good thing in your life. Please do not put that on me, you know? And like, we hadn't even met, you know? So now back in my codependent days, I would have been like, hell yeah, I don't want to be alone. But now, like, I like being alone and I would rather be alone, especially compared to getting into a shitty relationship, right? And when you're happy and completed, you're going to attract those similar things in other people, right? If you are codependent and needy and stuff, you're going to attract those things. You know, a needy bitch, like a needy person is not going to attract a solid, like good person who is like whole and complete on their own and who can live without you. Like that's what's so important. You know, there are like friends and people in my life that I know I could not live without. But like romantically, you should never, ever, ever get into this place of like your romantic partner is someone that you cannot live with, you know, because if it gets to the point where like you can't live without them, then you're going to be living for them and then you're not going to be able to live with them, you know, and you'll lose yourself at the same time. You know, you'll lose yourself for sure. So healing, you know, it's important. Step back, give yourself some time, heal. You know, there's this girl that I've just known my whole life and she's just always in relationships and I don't understand and they never work out and they're always so fast and quick and they drop the love word and they're meeting kids, each other's kids and stuff. And like, that is so toxic. Stop. Fucking stop. Like, give yourself a break. Learn to date yourself. Love you. Like, I'm going to be 31 on Sunday. And this is the longest I have been alone since I was like 14, you know, and it's not, I'm indifferent to it, I guess. It's not awful, you know, but it's not easy, you know, especially like because people, they crave connection, especially when you like tap into, you know, the universe and all of the just divinity. Like you crave connection, you know, and then when you get to that point of craving connection, you don't really care what form it comes in. And I'm not talking about sex, like I'm talking about actual deep, good conversation that you can just get with a friend, you know, and when you are secure on your own, like you're not going to be looking for someone to complete you and look for that type of connection. If you are like secure on your own, the deep connection that you could get from just friends alone is something more than you could ever get from, you know, just settling for a relationship. So many people are so afraid to be alone. They're so scared to be alone. And so they jump into a relationship because they are terrified of being alone. But why? Why are you so afraid of being alone? You know, and I get it. That's why I got with my ex-husband a month after my boyfriend before that. Like, you know, be alone. It's fine. It's okay. Like, there are always going to be people there, you know, and, you know, if somebody comes into your life and they seem like the one and they're like meant for you, that is when you spend more time working on yourself, right? Because you can't force people to move at the same rate as you. And you can't force people to be in your life if they don't want to be, you know, and the universe is going to give you everything you need, but they're not going to give you what you need until you're ready to receive it, you know? So when you come across people that spark an interest in your life and you think that like maybe they could be the one or whatever, like running after them is just going to push them so much further away, you know? And that is like the whole like idea that I've been like trying to be consistent with is like when I find things that like I have a greater interest in that is not really entirely reciprocated, then like I need to know I need to be working on myself. I need to work on myself more, you know? And that is all healing. Healing is so important. It is so important, you know, because if you don't heal the wounds from your past hurts, you will bleed on those who did not cut you, right? So are your coming relationships going to work out if you have not healed? Likely no. You're just gonna be wasting your time. And you're just gonna be adding to that pain and that hurt And there's no reason to do that. Oh, take time off. Like, I already made it like a huge thing. Like, I'm not having any anniversaries in 2018. I'm not starting to date anybody this year. I'm good. Like, my divorce is final. I'm good. You know, it's nice. It's fine. It's not great. You know, it sucks being alone. Not gonna lie. You know, especially after like I was the wife and like had that role fulfilled, and like here we are starting back to, you know, square one, but that's okay because I have this chance to turn my life into something that it could have never have been because I was so deluded with being codependent and not being alone that I never focused on myself, and I never took care of me ever. You know, so I was a very unhealthy person my whole life, mentally and emotionally, you know, jumping into these relationships that were unfulfilling. And I was settling, and then I would be hurt in the end, but like I was going into them hurt, so then I was coming out of them more hurt. So it's dumb, you know, spend time to heal. It's so important, you know, and at the end of the day, like what's meant to be it's gonna be. You know, sometimes you have to let people go so they can heal too. Like that's another thing. That's a huge thing. And it's so important when it comes to connecting and actually like caring about people and respecting people. You know, if people aren't ready and they're not on the same page as you, like that's okay. You know, and whatever happened to like being friends first before dating? Like, I don't think I've ever been friends first with any guy I have ever dated, you know, and that's like a big thing that I definitely want to do, is just be friends with people because that is when the healthiest relationships evolve. So I'll be doing more of these because I'm back now. Like, I'm done with this. I don't know, like just being off the grid stuff. Like I'm done. My company is coming out with some really huge news. I'm super excited. My life is about to be insane with everything that I have just decided on. And I'm excited to share all of that with you guys as soon as that happens. But yeah, I mean, check out my company, Rusnock Naturals, on Facebook, RUSNOCK Naturals. Check me out. I have sales going on and stuff, but like I have such big news coming for my company. I'm so excited. And it's probably gonna be a little while before that happens because there's a lot of steps to take. But moving forward is like the only option, you know, and you move forward and you heal simultaneously, you know, because like if you're not healing and you jump into something, you kind of just stay like where you're at. You don't really advance much, you know, because you're not really focusing on yourself anymore. You have this like extra stuff to focus on. So right now, while I'm being alone, like I'm focusing on so much shit that pertains just to me and my kids. It is amazing. Like I love it. I really do. It's really nice having time to be able to focus on things that matter and that will actually like give me happiness and success in life. And I want the same for all of you. So, see ya.